Welcome to Happy Hour Holidays, here with your host, Manny Fresh, and your co-host, Sean Fabre. And today we got a special guest, but to tell you a little bit about our podcast, we like to do business, entrepreneurship, life stories. We're your go-to podcast for people that have dreams and have motivations. We want you to accomplish these dreams and opportunities that you could have by giving everything you got. Today in studio, we got Corn Ferry Tour, Brad Brunner. We've been waiting for you for a long time, baby.
Yeah, we have.
Glad to be here, Manny.
Yeah,
Always
man.
Good to see you.
So, obviously, I followed you throughout your whole career, and right now it's like, tell us how you got into golf, because I absolutely love it. My brother loves it, but to play at such an elite level. We know the mental toughness, the physical toughness that you have to battle every single day. What made you get into golf?
When I was growing up, when I was a kid, I played. I feel bad when I think about it now as a parent. I feel bad thinking I played competitive soccer, baseball, and golf all at the same time. So I was always like, I look at it now, I'm like, damn, that's tough. But in the end, what drew me to golf, my dad was always in the industry, so I grew up around the golf course. He was over at Rogers Park, head pro for, 15 years. So I spent a lot of time out there playing when I was a kid. But just through the years, I just kept getting turned off from the team sports, as in, a lot of it was out of my control. And golf is the one individual sport where your destiny is kind of on you, right? So I was always about whatever I put in,
you get back.
You get back.
Yeah.
And in reality, that doesn't always work with golf, but you're always trying to get better. So that was really the thing.
Essentially,
for me.
You said, fuck all the teammates. I want to do this.
In a way, at times it's harder, but it's nice to have teammates. But yeah, so through the years, you kind of get it. Your team grows. It's a little different. Obviously, still an individual sport, but you got swing coach, mental coach, physical training, nutritionist. At the highest level, you still have a team, but it's not, and you're relying on a team still in a way, right, to hopefully point you in the right direction. But at the end of the day, you're on the course. It's up to you to be prepared and commit.
So you have a mental coach too?
I did probably about.
What do they do? Is it like Tin Cup? Like the chick who was helping him trying to get his mental game in order. Is that kind of what the mental coach did, or?
Her name is Bob then in this situation. But so probably 3 years ago, I started working with Bob Rotella. I don't know if you heard of him. He's probably got, if we're talking about people, major champions he's worked with in golf, and really he's kind of all over. He's helped the Kentucky basketball team win multiple national championships.
Oh shit.
He's probably got at least 10 major championships under his belt as a mental coach. Tons of PGA Tour wins. But yeah, I went to his house in Virginia. Bob Rotella is his name, and worked with him. First time I saw him I stayed at his house for 3 days. We worked one-on-one for 3 days, and it was hard to say it didn't work out. The following week, at the time I went and saw him, I was really struggling with some putting, and I felt it was more mental. And the mental game's always been one of what I feel is the strongest parts, but it's more of course management. The mental side is a little different, and his big thing is trying to react, be an athlete, get out of your own way. The idea being, you have who knows how many balls you've hit, how many putts you've hit, like. The physical side of that is kind of done in a way. You're always refining it, but you got to get out of your way, right? So that was the big thing. The following week, I had an event. I'm trying to think. It was Springfield, Illinois. Went out there using his approach, kind of what we decided was good for me, and I finished 9th. Then we go to Chicago, had the outright lead for 2 days. Course called Chicago Highlands, and at the time, it was me. I don't know if you heard of Mito Pereira.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So
he's on Live now, I think.
No. He's still on the PGA Tour.
Mito Pereira.
I think he's Live.
No, he's Live.
I think he's
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
So he was out there. And second round, we both shot the course record, which is still the course record.
What was the course record?
64.
64.
And I had a
par 72.
Par 72, and I had a two shot lead going to the third round outright.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a pretty strong field in general, but just I'm saying that's 2 weeks after, right? So I had a ninth and then that, so it's hard to say that the mental stuff doesn't work. Didn't have a great weekend, but that's kind of golf. I could say that a few times. But yeah, the mental's huge.
And then, like, would he just like call you on the phone, or?
The way it worked with him is I could call and reach out whenever. I'll still call him and talk to him occasionally. Not as much that I'm not playing.
I'm wondering how much that guy costs.
It was a lot. It was a good bit.
You don't got to throw that number out there. I'm curious.
The thing is, in the end, I made it back the following week. That's the way it is. What I found is you end up paying for things in golf, whether it's a certain training aid, whether it's this help. Maybe it's tough up front, but you do see the benefits in the end. It's just the way it is.
And talking about paying for things in golf, I'm curious, does it cost money to enter a tournament, or do you just qualify for it? And with travel, with all that stuff, like how much does it cost to be a Korn Ferry Tour player?
Yeah.
Per tournament,
Yeah, like
you got to pay for a hotel and your caddy, I think also is what you said.
Yeah. So if we're talking, we can go for mini tours, right? So we'll say there used to be a tour when I first started playing. You had a tour in the Carolinas called the E-Golf Tour, and you had the Hooters Tour, right? Most people have probably heard of the Hooters Tour.
Yeah.
You're basically, the players are building the purse, right? There's no sponsor money, so the players are building their own purse. You'd probably pay $1,000 to $1,200 an entry fee.
Are you kidding me?
And probably more now. I've seen it go to $1,400. Depends on the tournament. Then, like, for example, I played Latin Tour for a couple years, PGA Latin America, and we would pay $200 a week, right? Playing for way more money than we played even in the mini tours. You go to the Korn Ferry and the PGA Tour, you don't pay anything. Entry fee is $0, right? But if we talk about caddy, again, that it differs a little bit between player because it's kind of optional. Not everybody pays the same thing. Some people, I have a different perspective on caddies as well, because I did that for probably 4 or 5 years when I was trying to get a sponsor in general, caddy at Old Memorial, and so I've seen kind of all aspects, which I think was helpful as well for me playing. But caddy, my guy, I was paying him $1,200 a week, whether you make the cut or not, right? Damn. So you can make the cut, then they get a percentage, which would normally be, again, that changes between players as well. For a long time, you would usually do 5, 7, 10. That would be made cut, top 10, and a win. Those would be the percentages. His was a little better. I kind of
was he your friend?
I knew him for a while. He was a good guy, but I just like to try to take care of the people that are working for me, right? I want them to be there. I want them to be there and really want to be in it, right? Just a little bit of being incentivized a little bit, but and just try to take care of them. We're a team. But yeah, so then you got travel costs, right?
No stipend from the tour at all?
No, tour doesn't do that. I mean, so a lot of it we would do too, like guys will do club contracts, and those vary a little bit. We'll say, for example, if you signed with Titleist on the Korn Ferry Tour, maybe they'd give you up front on the year maybe $10,000 ish
for travel expenses or for anything.
Just
right?
like, hey, here's a check for $10,000 for being an ambassador, right? And then you get what's called tee up money, which is each week you're at an event, you tee off on the first hole, entitles you to your part of your contract, which would be, again, that changes again. We'll just say it's $1,000 a week, right? So on top of whatever they gave you, they'll give you $1,000 and cap you at usually $20,000 on the year. That's Korn Ferry. And again, these numbers change all the time, and they're not 100% exact. And basically go to the PGA Tour, and you just add another 0 to everything. That's what happens. So that helps.
That's a good problem.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, basically anything on the PGA Tour from Korn Ferry, you just add a 0, and then that's what it would be.
So Brad, when somebody wants to they want to go up the tiers of becoming a pro golfer, where does it start? Like, what was that moment for you where you're like, hell, right now, I'm going to become a pro golfer. Like, what was that moment for you when you had that like aha moment where you're like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of, not the rest of my life, but I'm going to be involved in this, but I want to become a pro golfer. When was that point?
I mean, the first time when I really started making what I'm gonna relate it to, it would be sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
Changes of decisions to go towards one goal. I remember being in middle school and I got special assignment to go to Chamberlain. I was supposed to go to Sickles and they had a better golf team, right? So then I got special assignment, went there, knew nobody. That's the first time where I was like, I'm making large sacrifices for this sport. And then it's just kind of always been that way. Like there's plenty of times when I just don't go out, or wouldn't go out with buddies to go have some drinks or have some fun. It's like, I got to spend this extra time. I need to be focused. Like I still would have fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it just requires a different level of sacrifice to try to be the best.
You got to say no a lot.
Got to say no.
Yeah.
In reality, pretty selfish with your time.
Yeah. And then when it comes to the tours to get to the Korn Ferry Tour, the PGA Tour, was that one in the Carolinas the first one you start with, and then the Hooters Tour in order to qualify for the Korn Ferry, or can anybody kind of qualify? How does that work?
Yeah, because can't you also go through Q school?
Yeah, so it's kind of two different things, right? Like the mini tours, when the players are building the purse, funding it, you're just playing for money, right? That's it. Most of the time there's not a level to say, hey, if you finish top 5 at the end of the year on this tour, you're going to go to the next one. Like a lot of those mini tours where the purses are built by the players, it's just, hey, let's make money, right? This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make some money.
Those are invite only, or
you sign up, give them your cash. If you get in the field in time, you're in, right? Like,
here's your invite. Here's a check.
That's part of it too. Like people are like, oh, this guy's a pro. He's a pro. It's like, well, anybody could sign up as a pro in reality for an event, right? You give them the cash, you're a pro, right?
Yeah, that's literally the way it works.
Yeah.
The mini tour, at least.
For the mini tour, obviously,
yeah.
And then to gain status on a tour, like we'll say PGA Tour Canada, PGA Tour Latin America, that are feeder tours. Right now, starting next year, they're doing. I think it's Tour Las Americas or something. I think they're kind of combining everything into something in the States, which is actually. The tours try to grow the game outside of the country, right? So that's how you get those other tours. Like they had PGA Tour China before COVID, and then that's
gone.
She gone.
She gone.
That's gone.
Well, you got the PGA Australasia Tour as well, right?
Yeah, and those are like they all like give little bits. Like there's so many different levels. Like as far of out, like we're saying in Europe and stuff like that, they'll give based on the European tour. I never got into it that much in that way. I just never wanted to. I mean, I went to, again, Latin America. I've probably been to 12, 13 countries playing events over a couple of years, but nothing more, not really Europe or anything like that.
Which would have been pretty cool, but I mean, it would have been pricey, though.
It could have been.
Do you have to be invited to, like, say, the DP World Tour? Or
you got to earn status.
Yeah. And what does that mean
that would
exactly?
be a Q school thing.
A Q school? Okay.
Latin American Tour, Canadian Tour, you got to go to a Q school specifically for those two different tours, right? That's different than Korn Ferry Tour. Korn Ferry Tour has their own Q school, right? That's the only way to gain status. It's either doing so well, I think it's top 5 on Latin Tour or Canada, gets you conditional status on the Korn Ferry.
Is that how you got it? Through the Latin American
Tour? I always went through Q school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played just didn't I had good seasons, but I never finished high enough to get guaranteed start. So for me, it was always Q school. Yeah.
And Q school is just qualifying school.
Q school, yeah. So you got, if we break it down, you have a pre-qualifier tournament. Then you got first stage. So the pre-qualifier, when I did it, was 4 rounds. Now it's 3. Then we'll say there's 100 guys that play it. Top 20 get through pre-qualifier. I think it's higher in pre-qualifier. It's probably closer to 40% as opposed to 20. You go to first stage. It's usually 80, 90 guys. Usually 18 to 21 spots get through. That's including ties. Second stage is going to be the same. Then you go to finals. And finals is going to be a combination of all all those Q school sites. So usually second stage. So the site right before finals, you're going to have, I want to say there's 4 to 6 sites across the country. So you'll get, we'll say it's 80 to 100 guys in general. And you're going to have guys from the previous year on the Corn Ferry who didn't keep their card that are exempt to finals. I mean, there's just so many little things
to be able to qualify,
and
right?
then what exempt into certain stages and all this stuff. But in the end, right, like in the end, to have full status on the Corn Ferry, you got to get to finals and finish top 40 out of 156.
Holy shit.
Right.
So it's not easy.
You got to go through all those basically, right? And the thing is, you got to have a guy that he won every single little mini tour, right? We're saying the purses where the pros are making them. He's the man. He has one bad week at Q school, say it's first, second stage, he's done, right? Jeez. And he's got a guy was getting his ass kicked all year, betters him, maybe, and he gets to play in the Corn Ferry if he plays well for at the right time. So it's really like Jordan Spieth, for example. I think the one time he did Q school, he didn't even get through first stage, right?
Oh, wow.
We're saying there's 4 stages. So he went, I think he was exempt. So he skipped pre-qualifier, went to first stage, didn't get through. Then he gets an exemption to, I think was the John Deere, wins. Boop.
Now
then
he's
we
on
know
the
what
PGA
happened,
Tour,
right? Then
yeah.
he went on a little heater.
I mean, what? He won like fucking 4 majors, I think.
Yeah, he
right?
got real weird.
Yeah, but then he went downhill, right?
Hey, okay. When we get back, I'm going to ask Brad to see what he thinks about the structure of the PGA Tour, and when you're up and coming, if you think there's a better structure to getting PGA cards than what there is now. More, right now it seems like there's so many little spots to get in. It's like, can there be more structure to make people either get paid better or to have more opportunity to qualify? So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Happy Hour Holidays. We're here with Corn Ferry Tour Pro Brad Brunner, and I was kind of asking Brad about the structure when it comes to the PGA Tour, and just like baseball, we look at baseball and the way they have AAA, AA, or whatever. They have a pretty good structure when it comes to getting up to the majors. I think after listening to you, Brad, I just feel like there could be a better structure. And then another thing, these fucking PGA Tour, the whole PGA Tour just doesn't pay. I mean, to get to the level of Corn Ferry, I mean, think about the obstacles you have to get to, Q School, the mini tours, and you win one and you only get paid $120 on regular. I mean, people won the tour championship right now. They've got $270, which you say is pretty high. And it's just crazy to me to be right there, right at the PGA Tour level, and you're getting paid. I mean,
$270K isn't a lot of money.
No, but I mean, that's first place. But if you look down to the people that make the cut, they're making $5,000, $5,700, and you're thinking, Brad just said, "Hey, this is how much it costs. You got to pay a caddy, $1,200 a week." I mean, fuck, right there. I mean, what are you making, like $3,000? It's challenging.
I mean, think of it like I said earlier. Add a 0 and you're at the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah.
Put a 0, and now you're at 2.7 million.
Yeah.
Right. That's the difference. The PGA Tour. That's
a big difference.
We're adding
right
a 0 to a 6-digit number.
Yeah.
Yes, that's large. Yeah. But that's what it is. Again, you see 2.7 million on a win, especially a tour championship, right?
Yeah.
That sounds almost about right. Yeah. The thing is the tour too, right? Like it's hard to say anything bad, but
there's
it's
a
not
lot of
hard
bad
to say bad, but they didn't raise the purses on the Corn Ferry for 14 years, right? Like caddies are getting paid the same because the players are getting paid the same. And the tour just keeps going, and then when the tour had their hand forced and then put another 20 million into purses, was it this last year? Yeah. Right, over 7 events.
That was last year.
Everyone's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to put 20 million, even if you put another 3 million into the Corn Ferry, that's a lot, right? Like, because they're marketing. In reality, the Corn Ferry cares about the top 25. That's their people who they're going to then try and have the next, you know what I mean? Like,
get into the PGA.
Justin Thomas, for example, Corn Ferry guy. A lot of these guys came off the Corn Ferry, so they know Scotty Scheffler. They're all coming from the Corn Ferry and going to the tour. They're going to make money off of them.
But maybe they could have made more money off people because some people might be like, "Fuck, man, I got to make a living too. I got a family, whatever. This is just not cutting it." I mean, I know they're in it for the long run overall, but still, man, Yeah, give
Kind
them
of
a
goes
little bit
back
more.
to sacrifice, though,
No,
right?
I mean it is sacrifice, but at the end of the day, I'm just thinking, man, you gotta give them a little bit more money. I mean, you're a pro. You're a pro. You know,
So
when you look at all the other sports in the world, when you're even second division, third division, whatever it is, you're still making decent money. You're not, but this is different. This is golf, and these are the best players in the entire world, and this is what you're gonna pay them.
So what you're saying is the PGA Tour could have potentially missed out on a good player because that good player couldn't afford to play. That's what you're saying, right?
Could be.
I agree with that. I could agree with that statement.
But
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's
'Cause
so
it-
hard to say. They try to, like I said, the Latin tour, Canada, China, they're trying to diversify and bring in more people. And like the Latin event, right, for example, would get 20 sponsor invites a week, right? So they would be able to give that opportunity to 20 local people in that community where that tournament's being held, whatever country it is, that probably wouldn't normally have an opportunity to play an event like that, to try to showcase their talents. I don't know, man. Golf is
like-
just crazy. The thing is, PGA Tour makes a lot of money, and I don't think until they started, the Live came in, they didn't have to show how much they were able to put up, right?
And Phil Mickelson knew how much money
he
they were
knew for
making.
sure, right?
And they were
And-
and he was like, yo, fuck this, bro. Jay Monahan's a fuck. And then, no, not only that, but when you think about it, they were calling it the Saudi back tour. And what is the PGA backed by now?
Saudi
I know it's a bad. I mean, there's got to be a lot of guys
pissed off.
super pissed, right?
Because they missed out
people-
on some dough. That's why.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
There was a couple guys. I mean, I just thought it was ridiculous too when the Live first started. There was two guys that didn't qualify. They won. They were U.S. Amateur champions 2 years in a row. Well, two different guys, right?
Who were they?
Can't remember their names to be honest. They're on the Live now, but they were offered contracts. They didn't even get. One guy had conditional status on the Corn Ferry, right? That's what he earned. Other guy didn't. They offered 3-year contracts, $10 million signing bonus.
Yes, please.
Right, to be able
yes,
to play.
please.
I'm like, that would piss all of us off.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're like, some bitch, right? Like, what is going on here? Like, but then they make you're like the outcast if you don't go with it. It was just like there was a weird time, but now they're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll team up with you. So those I think it's more the higher end guys, right? Like Rory stuck his neck out for
Fuck
him for
that
a
guy.
while, right?
Yeah, I
Just,
don't
I'm
like
just
that
saying in
guy
general,
at
right? How
all.
much money did he turn down?
Probably
How much did Tiger turn down?
100
Tiger,
million,
no, half a bill.
half a bill.
Yeah, it was
Half a
either 5
bill.
or 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$500 million. Tiger
And now
turned down.
they're together.
Yeah, exactly. So really, Live and PGA are backed by the same. They call it the PIF, but really it's the Saudi, because they dropped the S for some reason. The Saudi Public Investment Fund. I mean, it to me, everybody, because I said I don't have a problem with Live. I don't have a problem with Live. Everybody was like, "Oh, you support this, you support that." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro? They're just getting money. They're just getting money." As soon as the PGA becomes Saudi backed, what happens? Everybody shuts the fuck up. It's no longer Saudi backed Live Tour. Now it's just the Live Tour.
I mean,
The hypocrisy in the
it's
PGA.
wild.
Jay
I know.
Monahan literally should just be kicked out as commissioner. in my opinion.
I wouldn't show my face for a little bit. for sure, right? Like,
I got
it's a
sick.
little-
That's what he did. I got sick. I can't. I'm gonna be leaving a little bit so I can kind of get my shit together. Oh, everybody forget about it.
Everybody forget about it.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
And you know what's funny?
I know, that's
everybody,
not it, isn't it?
everybody forgot about it, didn't they?
Yeah, they forgot.
Yeah,
about
they
it.
forgot
I mean,
about it.
maybe some of the players didn't, but
No.
I mean,
well, we know Rory
I mean-
didn't, Mr. Whiny
I mean,
motherfucker.
between the PGA Tour and Corn Ferry Tour, I mean, how competitive is the Corn Ferry Tour? I mean, you're talking about probably the same competition as the PGA Tour, because we're talking about people just trying to get that PGA Tour card. So the competition is
Brutal.
It's brutal, right?
Oh, I mean, you get guys that come off the Corn Ferry and win the next year, multiple players, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We'd have to go look through it. But if you look down and said, hey, this guy he's on a PGA Tour rookie year, how many wins do we have? How well did these guys perform? Like, I know that's changed how they did Q School for a while, because Q School probably ending in 2013. If you went to Q School final stage, top 25 guys got PGA Tour cards, right? Not just now. It's just you're getting your Corn Ferry Tour card. Okay,
Yeah.
like what was it? The last time I went to final stage, I finished 19th. Right? If I did that in 2013, I'd have been on the PGA Tour last year, not the Corn Ferry.
Damn.
I'm just saying that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
They always change it, but they're looking at statistics saying, hey, is it really fair or right probably to say, based on this 1 week, are we going to give 25 spots on the PGA Tour for a year, right? And I think statistically they're like probably not good, but
And you're not guaranteed a spot just because you get your PGA Tour card. You're not guaranteed a spot in every tournament.
no,
Correct?
it's based on like we'll say Corn Ferry, right? We'll just say top 25 who get their PGA Tour card. The guy who finishes number 1 on the Corn Ferry list is going to be full exempt
Through all
for the whole
tournaments?
tournament. Number 2 though isn't going to be all of them, and it slowly goes down to 25. Like the guy who's 5th versus the guy who's 25, the guy who's 5th is going to get more guaranteed starts than the guy who's 25th. So that guy still, even though he has his PGA Tour card, he's got to fight early in the year to stay out there, really.
And they have to play local qualifiers in the city where the tournament is being held for the PGA Tour to maybe make those spots.
So you're saying like a
Innisbrook.
Monday qualifier?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like Innisbrook, to play in Valspar, I heard that they hold a Monday qualifier at Southern Hills.
Yeah.
So like even though you have your PGA Tour card, and you don't get that sponsor exemption or that spot, you still have to go and play on Monday to see if you can even play
And that's an
on
option.
Thursday,
Yeah,
right?
that's an option for you, right? Like if you're not in the field, you can go qualify. And again, those we'll use as another example, the normal Monday qualifiers. If you don't have status on Corn Ferry Tour or higher, right? If you're not a member of the Corn Ferry PGA Tour, you have to go to a pre-qualifier to get to that Monday, a different tournament, right? So all these guys that play the mini tours that I told you that fund their own purses got to pay about $400 or $450 to play a pre-qualifier and then go pay that again to then go play the Monday qualifier.
Oh, wow. So there's a pre-qualifier to the Monday qualifier.
For PGA Tour events, yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Now, let me ask you a question. If you're a Corn Ferry Tour pro, can you play in that pre-qualifier for a Monday qualifier?
No, you just go straight to the Monday.
You go straight to the
It's
Monday?
like you get to skip. Yeah.
So, I mean,
and it's $100
so
for a Corn Ferry
did you
guy.
ever try to the Monday qualifier for Innisbrook? For Valspar?
Probably twice.
Twice.
I
And
don't
how
like
many
Mondays.
people get a spot if they
It's
is it
usually
like
four?
4 people? So you got to finish
Four
top
out of
4,
100?
right? You got to finish top 4, right?
Yeah.
You said out of 100?
Usually 80 to 100.
Fucking
Yeah.
A, that's
So what was your best finish on that Monday qualifier? Was it at Southern Hills or was it
top 4?
No, Rashi would have played, right?
I don't like Mondays, man. It's so different than a normal tournament. I mean, you can look and see, and again, another statistic to look at would say, hey, these Monday qualifiers, these guys that Monday qualify, how do they finish, right? Most of the time, you're not going to see them play well. Golf is just weird, right? I mean, real tournament golf is a 4-day event where you're playing more strategically.
72
Those
holes,
Mondays, 18 holes, you have to play aggressive and you got to be top 4, right? You have to have a good day. So that's another mental battle, right?
Could you go to every single Monday qualifier that there's a PGA Tour event at if you have your Corn Ferry Tour card?
You could. I mean,
Did you?
again,
How many did you go to?
Most guys would do it occasionally if there wasn't a season. Like if you're playing a full schedule on the Corn Ferry, you don't want to take a week off because you're trying to get to the top 25 on the money list
So
to
you can
get
go to
your
the
card.
PGA, yeah.
So it's always like,
I mean, it's a different avenue though, right? Because if you win on the PGA Tour, you're 1 year exempt, right?
2.
2 year exempt.
Really?
Two at least. Yeah.
And then if you win a major, you're 4 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so. Something close to that.
Well, winning a major is fucking hard though.
Yeah.
Out of all the major tournaments, which one do you think is the hardest?
Bro,
I don't know.
Augusta, right?
I mean, it has the most. It's the same course, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, the guys that have played there more have an advantage for sure. So if you come in, you're younger, it's tougher. You got to really. So again, another guy I'm thinking of it, right? Will Zalatoris.
Yeah.
He was at that same tournament I was telling you when I had the lead
Yeah.
in Chicago,
Yeah.
right? And he ended up tying the course record on the last day, but he was in that field too. But again, I think about him at the Masters.
He's a good
That
player.
was the year before. Might have been the same year. And I mean, he almost won that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
I know.
Wild.
He's been out for a while though, man.
Yeah, he had a back injury, I
Did he?
think. Yeah.
He's been out
Because he
won.
won his first tournament, I think it was last year, and then he hasn't been playing. So, talking about playing, how about you walk our audience through what's your game day like on Thursday? You show up, are you going into the locker room? Are you having a cappuccino? Are you hitting the weight room before you play? What are you doing exactly on a Thursday right before the tournament starts?
Yeah, I mean, when I was probably at my best, I always had a workout plan in general. Certain days of the week, I planned it around that schedule. Thursdays, again, it depends if you have an early tee time or a late tee time. So things still change. If I had an early tee time and I was going to get a workout in, it'd probably be after, right? But my routine was I would usually get there. I'd try to eat about 2 hours before I'd tee off. So a lot of the eating was based around being fueled at the right times for the course. So I'd eat 2 hours before, make sure I'd eat something walking off one tee, and then you're kind of going every 4 holes, trying to snack on something and get electrolytes and stuff like that. So it would be based on eating, and then I would do my stretching routine, and then I'd usually give about 45 to 50 minutes. I would shoot for an hour because I'd get to the tee about 10 minutes early to get a pin sheet. Usually my caddy would take care of that anyways, but just to get my mind ready to go on the course. So
You ever have to shit on the course?
has it happened?
Yeah, I mean, bro, we see these players, they're on TV, they're fucking walking the course. I'm like, what if you gotta take a shit?
I know you just gotta get that body right to not do it out there.
No. It's like 4 hours, bro. I mean, like,
I know you definitely. There's certain things you don't eat. Like sometimes, again, on the
no
Corn Ferry and
tacos,
higher,
no burritos.
they have buffets, right? Like
Yeah.
it's always food, but a breakfast and a lunch. If you got a late tea time, they might have, tacos, burritos. You're like, not today.
Not today. Because, dude, I can't tell
Not
you how
right
many
now.
times I'm driving the course, right? And I'm like, damn, I got to take a shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm waiting for the fucking station. I mean, tour players got to be taking shits, dude.
Yeah,
Didn't
for
Bruce
sure, but
Kepka
usually
say,
that's-
like, John Rahm was going to the bathroom every, like, 5 seconds when he won, was it the U.S. Open?
had to be messed up. I don't know. That's not fun though. That's not what you want to think of. It definitely happens.
It does happen, right?
It happens. There's porta potties.
Now, when you take a piss, do you go to a porta potty?
Oh, God, he's fucking guy.
Shit.
When you got to take a piss, do you go to a porta potty, or you could just go into the
I mean,
trees
if
like
there-
normal people do, right?
I mean, it depends who's around.
It's
In
an
reality,
audience. You got
Yeah.
an
if
audience.
there's the ropes, you got ropes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's pick and choose.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, kind of to change it up right now, Brad. Like, so you kind of got okay. When we get back,
It's 2 minutes, bro. You could talk for 2 minutes, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, you're gonna lead into a story. I guess give us your favorite course you've ever played.
Favorite course. I mean, there's 2 courses that come to mind. I played the U.S. Amateur in 2010 at Chambers Bay. That was sick.
Oh shit!
It was stupid, but it was sweet, right? And Pebble Beach is unbelievable.
God, that's the one course I really want to play.
I mean, it's just
other than
scenic.
Augusta.
It's hard to have a bad day out there. I mean, it's tough.
It's a tough course, but I mean that
They didn't even have
view-
high noons out there when I was playing. It would have been even better.
Wait, in a tournament, did you ever play any of those? Well, the U.S. Amateur, but any of the other tournaments? Did you ever have one at Pebble Beach?
No.
But before
I
you
didn't know.
bust that nut,
Before you bust that nut, we'll be right back. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions for Brad, please put it in the comment section. And we really appreciate you listening to Happy Hour Holidays. We'll be right back.
welcome to Happy Hour Holidays with your host, Manny Fresh.
Fuck this guy. Welcome back.
Just a couple brothers.
Welcome back to Happy Hour Holidays. We were kind of asking Brad about his favorite courses, so he kind of gave him
His bathroom habits.
Pebble Beach, Chambers Bay, and then let's talk about your best absolute round ever as Corn Ferry Tour Pro.
Oh, you said it, right? 64?
Oh, 64? Is that
I don't.
I mean, it doesn't.
I can't remember if it's the low. To be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I know my tournament low is 61.
What? Par
Um,
72?
Yeah, that was
Damn, bro, that's 11 under.
I don't think it was Corn Ferry though. I think it was a mini tour. I can't remember, to be honest. I know,
Wow.
but again, off the course, low round 58.
at Babe Harris.
As the babe.
That the
Are,
Babe.
are you
No,
are you the course record holder at Babe?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No shit.
you know,
Actually, so again, the high school match, right? Helping out with this high school, trying to get the kids right.
Yeah.
They took my sign down. We had a match out there yesterday. There was a course record sign. It's gone. So
Why'd they take it down?
I don't know.
They don't like you.
Haters gonna hate, man.
Haters gonna hate. You know what it was? It wasn't tour time yet.
I know. It's all right.
And you know
It'll
what?
be
Talking
back.
about tour time, that's your business.
Yes.
What is tour time? Can you explain it to the audience?
Yeah, Tour Time is my kind of my company I started for teaching instruction, right? And the idea would be behind the name is get your tour time, your time with a tour player, the knowledge, the experience, a different point of view, I think, from most normal instruction in general. Again, right? So I've been doing it for about a year. I actually just hired on another guy to teach under me, with me. So we're kind of building the brand a little bit, trying to start more of an academy. And we're out of Plantation Palms, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. And, you know, we got all Manny Fresh over here. We got him hitting that driver real nice.
I gotta
I
say,
went from 18.5 handicap to a 13.2, and
I can say this, bro. This guy used to drive the ball not as far as I hit my pitching wedge.
like the old man.
And now he's fucking hitting it 290 on the reg,
I
which
got him some
blows
tour
my
time.
mind.
Tour time.
It
Got
blows
that
my
thing
mind.
Straight, dog. My dick was bent like this, and then all of a sudden with tour time, my dick's going straight.
Real straight.
But
That's
how,
a fact.
But how hard was it, Brad, to walk away and start this business? To be like, hey, you know what?
I can make more money.
Yeah, I
doing
can make more
this.
money doing this. And I mean, just thinking about the future, now that you said the academy, I mean, you're thinking about there's so many juniors out there that actually need guidance for somebody who's been on the tour. You know, the academy idea is fabulous, man, because there's not a lot of people out there that have businesses that help people accomplish their dreams to be a tour player.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people do that too, right? Because we had Steven Garcia,
Yeah.
former Gamecock
Yeah.
quarterback, and now he has Spinning Athletics.
Yeah.
Bro, the guy's crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just trying to figure out how to, I mean, you know, grow a business, right?
Yeah,
and that's like,
yeah.
I've always been, again, like I said, into what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I was always, when I was playing, I was in my own little world and trying to figure out how to make the best. And it's a little different. It was definitely a transition. I mean, I remember even thinking like, hey, now I got to kind of do some sales. Like, I got to sell some lessons, right? To at least get this going, right?
Yeah.
People know who I am, but it's like, hey, just because you're a player doesn't necessarily mean you can coach. Like that's definitely a thing. But I just enjoy being around people and have a good knowledge and like to think that I have a good way of portraying information and helping people understand.
And I think you're actually on the right path. You said that you have somebody that is also teaching under tour time, correct?
Yeah, I just hired
So
him.
this is where I see tour time going. I see tour time going in a direction where there's a lot of qualified teachers, and maybe you buy a driving range, and now your driving range is the academy, and maybe you have a clubhouse with, you know, your high noons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, I mean, you just have like 10 coaches, bro. 10 coaches, a spot, you own the real estate, which is even better.
100%.
With the driving range, dude, this could actually be a huge business. Call it Top Golf, but for people who want a swing coach.
Yeah. And Top Golf offers a little bit of instruction, but again, we're
Yeah,
trying to
fuck
do a
Top
different
Golf, dude.
level. Like I want to take the same intensity that I had for the game and give it to people. Like people, I'm not saying beginners can't come to work with me, right? Of course they can. But it's really getting these people. I'm just interested in working with people that really want to do it. They have a passion for it, right?
You want
Not
to create
like,
pros.
yeah, I mean, I want to, if people are into it, it's how it's always been with me, even when I was playing. Somebody wants me to help them, sure, I'll help them. I don't solicit. I don't say, hey, you want me to help you with this? Like, somebody's going to have to say something to me. And if they are, I'm more than willing to help. I don't want to just say, hey, this looks weird, I'm going to help you. Because some people just don't like that in general. But
They're idiots.
I'm interested. I mean, it's the thing. I mean, I can't tell you, man. I've been on the driving range. Some people are like, I don't need lessons. I'm like, I mean, one dude, he's like, I don't need lessons. I'm like, you're the only one. That's what I said. I'm this guy's wild.
You played on the PGA, bro?
I mean, even the professionals, they still have swing coaches. So, I mean, they're still,
full teams.
they're full teams. So, I mean, they're still getting people to help them out. So, if you're up there saying that you don't need lessons, like, bro.
And the thing is, I'm not even trying to sell lessons at that point. I'm just like, you're blind to the world, dude. Like, what is going on here? This is wild. You don't need help. I just saw you hit it. You need a lot of help.
Tell them, quit chasing the dragon. You're never going to catch it.
Oh, I mean, it's like going with that one.
Golf is tough, man. Like, it's just, you need guidance. And a lot of the times, you can try and self-diagnose. I've done it. Any pro's done it, right? But until you have somebody else, another set of eyes that you trust, right? That's a lot of it, trusting that person. It's tough to try to do it on your own and fix it.
I mean, Manny trusted you, and now I'm jealous. Now I'm jealous.
It's not too late for you, Sean.
It's not too late for you.
Well, I got a boot. You guys can't see it. I fucked up my foot.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You still work short game.
I like that logo though, bro. Like,
it's good.
Dude, that's a dope ass logo.
It's good.
Could you imagine if instead of people going to Q school, they go to tour time and then they get into the tour?
I mean, they'd have to still go to Q school in a way, right? Because
they could qualify for the U.S. Open and win the U.S. Open.
You could. Yeah. That's tough. I'm with you. I like how you're thinking. I do like I mean, we're definitely trying to grow the brand, right? It is going to grow. It's exciting to think about, and you know, a lot of stuff I got to learn. Yeah. That's why I like this channel too. You guys bringing on entrepreneurs and all that stuff, and we're just trying to help each other out, right?
So let's tell the audience. Where is tour time currently?
Right now.
And how can they find you?
Yeah, sure. We're out of Plantation Palms.
Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Land O'Lakes. Currently, you can either send me an email or my phone number. If you go out to Plantation Palms, my stuff, you'll see it out there. Working on a website. Hopefully Sean's going to help us with that. We just had a little convo about that, so that's cool. Yeah, that's mostly it. Tour time. 58@gmail.com. That's you can send me an email and get you going that way, answer any questions you got.
That's how it's going to start out, but we're going to make it better.
But you can also find them on Instagram, Facebook too. I mean, you're in a lot of the Facebook groups too.
It's just not a page, right? Yeah, it's just kind of, again, it's a progression. Like right now.
If they want to see you, you're always commenting on a lot of stuff in there too.
And some of the groups for sure. Yeah. It's just got to keep building, right? Like right now, I did a lot more marketing early, and right now it's a lot of referrals, which is nice, but still again, bringing the other guy in, I want to try to generate some revenue for him, which is also good in turn for me, right, and the brand.
Who else is the other guy?
His name's Lakin Fisher. He was over at Golf Tech for a while. He's a Class A PGA guy.
Like PGA Tour professional?
So that's another good question, right, Sean? Good for you. That's what people would say. Right? Like guys that work at golf courses are members usually of PGA of America.
Yes.
Right, in the pro shop.
Yes.
Which is completely different from a PGA, which we would call a touring professional, right? But that's a good question, though. People ask it all the time. Oh, what club do you work at? And I'm like, no, I play tournaments.
So Michael Block, is he considered?
He's PGA of America.
He's PGA of America. Yeah.
But how did those guys get qualification? Just like anybody else, they just try to.
Well, he qualified for the PGA Championship. No, Masters.
PGA Championship.
Okay.
So in the section in PGA of America, they host tournaments, and within that group of people, PGA of America members, there's one big tournament people are qualifying from these clubs as PGA members, and they give 25 spots to the PGA Championship. So that's how he got his.
And what did he finish? I forget what he finished.
I mean, he got an invite back. I know that for
sure.
He
got top 10 then.
He got an invite to...
I think it was top 15 because he was like 14 or something like that.
Didn't he get an invite to...
yeah, he got an invite
to the U.S. Open?
Yeah, he played like shit.
I don't...
No, it wasn't the U.S. Open?
No, he got an invite
to the next week.
Yeah, the next week.
PGA Tour. A couple of them. I think he got a couple.
But it wasn't too bad.
He didn't make the cut at any of them.
But what was the...
He's done well though. I mean, good for him for utilizing that opportunity.
Yeah. He's made money.
I mean, he made more money. I mean, one fucking time, $300,000 in fucking one tournament. I mean,
he says, "I don't want no more new clients."
Yeah,
I think that's a bad move. But
yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't understand.
Bad job, Michael Block.
Hey, so Brad, when you decided to start this business and walk away from Korn Ferry, what was the key aspects to that decision?
Yeah. I mean, it really came down to my family.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it goes back to the root of, in a way, I mean, could I be wrong? I don't know. That's how I see
God
it, right?
damn it, his wife made him do it.
No, my wife.
I'm
My
just
wife's
kidding.
always supportive.
I'm just kidding, bro.
I'm just thinking about in general, right?
Yeah.
You look at someone like Tom
Yeah.
Brady, right?
Yeah.
How much does that guy sacrifice time-wise? Did he with his wife? Obviously, who knows the situation, right? He's not with his wife anymore.
Well, the man on the
Divorce,
arena,
yeah.
she said that she kind of stepped away from her career.
Yeah, but she was already
to-
worth half a bill, bro.
Yeah, but to support him, and it is a sacrifice for somebody who's professionally
Athlete.
oriented, you know, to
Especially
be like,
the level of commitment he is, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
his from his stretching routine, his workouts, his commitment to the team, like
Hey, have you seen his girlfriend lately?
time. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, what? Good
it's
job on the
if we're being
divorce,
real
Tom.
here, it's a lot of time,
It
and
is.
you have to be selfish, right? So to me, you know, my wife was always understanding, and that's kind of what it was. But when kids happened,
Yeah.
it
That's
brought
what it
something on I never could see even possible of me. I was just, the last year I was out there, I was just honestly in a way depressed, right? Like it was just being in the hotel, you know, 25 weeks on the Corn Ferry, 26 weeks. That's just of those tournaments. Not saying I'm playing anything else, which I did, or traveling to another state, Nashville, to work with my coach, going up to see Bob Rotella, whatever it is, right? There's always something.
Yeah.
You're away from your family, right? And my son, there'd be times where he'd just say some stuff, and I'm like, "Jeez, what the
Like,
fuck?"
Daddy, where are you? Or some shit
He's
like
I
that.
remember one time he said to me, he goes, "Dad, when you're not home, I can't find you." And I'm like, obviously it's like, but it's like, you're like, damn, like,
I know.
you know what I mean? It's just, that was really, for me, that's the biggest thing. Like, it was family and wanting to be, you know, it just came a time where I'm like, I'm not happy in this situation pursuing what I've worked my whole life for. I just want to be a great husband and a great dad, right?
Yeah.
That was really for me what it was.
And
Which-
still have a career in golf.
and still
Be involved in the
yeah,
sport.
Yeah, in golf,
I
right?
enjoy
Yeah.
golf, yes,
Yeah.
and I still want to be successful. Like, I mean, you know, I got a couple of other avenues, right? I told you, doing some of the real estate stuff,
Yeah.
doing some capital raising type of things, and it's just kind of, I want to be successful, right? It's
Yeah.
just, let's keep going. But it's just, for right now, I enjoy being able to spend every night at my house, seeing my kids, seeing my wife, and other family and friends in general.
There's still an opportunity to become successful, man, because how many millionaires are there that are not golfers?
It's a good market to be in.
Yeah.
If you know how to, you know, not saying take advantage of it, but to understand how to utilize it, right? Who and what's around you, right? I guess that's in any business. You could say that.
Do you ever see yourself owning a golf course?
I mean, anything's possible.
Oh, I
right?
like it. You didn't say
Anything's
no.
Possible.
I
I'm
like
not
it.
gonna say no.
Would you call
Anything's
it
possible?
Would you call it Brunner's Club?
I mean, that's kind of weak.
Brunner's Burners?
Sounds like a bar.
That sounds like a stripper STD, bro. Brunner's Burners. No.
Yeah, sounds a little. We're going for something a little higher end.
Going back to the tour, Brad. What was one of the, like, I guess the most famous players, or, you know, most well-known players you played alongside or in the same tournament or whatever it was,
Or paired with.
or paired with, you know?
You ever play with Tiger?
No,
No.
haven't. Never met Tiger. I mean, most of the guys that I played with, you're probably going to see them become more household names in the next probably, you know, couple years in general, right? So most people wouldn't know them. One of my buddies, we'd play some practice rounds with together last year, Eric Cole.
I've heard
Finished
of him.
probably 45th on the money list this year on the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah.
First year, rookie season. He had a great showing, right? He might have been one of the standouts. Just a bunch of guys. Like, if I just looked down the list, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Mito was a big deal. I mean, Will Zalatoris.
yeah.
I mean, when you played in the Chicago Open, I think.
What do you
Chicago
think
event,
about
yeah.
Lexi Thompson playing in the PGA Tour?
played with her brother a lot, Curtis
Curtis
Thompson.
Thompson?
Yeah, he wild.
Wow. Do you know that there's only been 11 women that have played on the PGA Tour?
In an event.
In a PGA Tour event. And of the 11 women, there's only been one to make a cut. Who do you think that was? And you hold the course record at her course.
You're
Babes
talking about
Arias. Yeah,
the
bro.
baby.
The baby.
And in that tournament, she finished 33rd.
Wow. Didn't know that's
Bro.
a great stat. Good
Yes,
for you.
man. Because I was looking it up. I was like, okay, Lexi Thompson. I know Michelle Wee did it, but they didn't make the cut, whatever. And then I was like, has anybody made the motherfucking cut?
Yeah.
Babes Zaharias, bro. It was like 1946. Made the cut, finished 33rd. I was like, we got a course named after the best female player. I mean,
True.
people say
I know, it's
Annika Swerenson, but whatever. Babes Zaharias paved the way for Annika. So, I mean, that's my take on it. And then, I mean, Lexi Thompson only has like 11 LPGA Tour wins. So, I mean, Shriners gave her
Shitting
the
on
spot.
11 wins, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah.
What you got?
Yo,
You got nothing.
But now
Who are you?
But she's playing from the tips now. She's playing from the tips now. Does she make the cut?
Who? Lexi?
Yeah. Playing
She
from
can.
the tips now.
Can she? Sure. The thing is,
I didn't say can she. I said does she.
well, she'd have to have
Prediction,
an
bold
opportunity.
prediction.
She does.
She does.
Oh, she's
Shriners.
playing?
She's
Thursday
playing
coming
this
up?
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week.
Will she? Like, what are you asking?
No,
me?
I'm
Putting a
saying
dollar on
does
it?
she make a prediction? Does she,
Will she
make
do it?
the cut?
I have no idea how she's playing.
God,
Like,
he's being too PC, bro.
no, I'm just saying. How is she? You're asking me a question. I don't know the answer. Like, how is she playing? How is she like coming off of a heater coming into this event?
Well,
Is she
they
just,
won
like,
the
six
they won
cuts in
they
a
won
row?
the Solheim. No, they lost this. No, they won the Solheim.
That's
No,
a
they
team
didn't. No,
event.
Europe won. Europe won.
What does her normal schedule look like? Right? Like, how could you make that decision? You could say there's. I'm going to tell you this, right? There's going to be 70 PJ Tour players that miss the cut next week. They play on the PJ Tour, right?
Yes.
So it's like, who's trending? What's going on?
Jesus. Brad, we
know.
can't
I'm
get
giving her
a straight answer
50-50.
from her. 50-50? That's what every player gets, though, right?
No, you're going to give better odds to some for sure.
Well, yeah, like maybe your boy Rory.
Guy can play.
Well, he hasn't won a tournament in like 2 years,
but
and he
he's
hasn't
been-
won a major in 11.
But
So
But,
hard to win.
he's been on a smoker.
oh,
though.
shit. We only got a minute.
Okay.
Final words, real quick.
Yeah, final words, Brad. Let's just say to amateurs or, just in life.
People
whatever.
that want to be pro golfers.
Yeah, people that
Fuck
want to
it.
be a pro golfers. What would you say?
Yeah.
To them?
To me, you got to put it first, right? There's going to be a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of up and downs. I mean, the thing that always kept me going was, in golf, you fail every week, almost every year. You have to come back harder, right? You got to work, and just every time you get knocked down, it's another opportunity to come back better,
Never give up.
right? I mean, it sounds cliche, but it is
No.
so true.
No, it's 100% true.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
right.
so much for Brad coming in, man. I really appreciate it. We've been trying to get him on, so it's awesome. Yeah, and I appreciate all the audience out there listening to Happy Hour Holidays. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions for Brad, please put it in the comment section, and make your dreams come true by being motivated. You'll get there. You just got to be selfish with your time.
And if you want any lessons, call Tour Time or email Brad.
Yep, you got it.
Peace.
Thanks, boys.